Good morning, students. Welcome back. Standard 9, Subject History, Chapter 5, Education, Module 2. Students, in the last module, we came across the literacy rate of India since the time of independence and later on how it progressed to 64% in the year 2000 according to the 2001 census. This this was possible because the government came up with many schemes. One of them was known as Operation Blackboard. The government tried to improve the standard of the schools and fulfill the minimum educational needs of students. All this was taken care of right from the primary district level. And then the government made sure that children would attend school regularly. And to make that possible, midday meal scheme was also started in the year 1995 so that children could be provided good nourishment. Later on, we also learnt about the Kothari Commission, wherein the 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern of education was recommended for secondary, higher secondary, and university education. This system also was implemented in the year 1972. Today, we shall continue learning some other aspects of this chapter. Higher education in the post-independence era. After independence, in 1948, the central government appointed the University Education Commission, whose chairman was Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, if you remember, is we celebrate the Teachers' Day in his remembrance. The University Education Commission adopted the 5-year plan method. The main functions of the UEC were to arrange financial grants, to improve the standard of universities, to coordinate the activities of the universities with the UEC, and to disburse the grants. Disburse means to arrange to provide or assist or distribute the money that the government has to the schools so that they could function properly. They also coordinated the syllabus, the syllabi, planning of the university education, and implementation of various schemes. They also came up with the idea, after television was introduced in India, they also came up with the idea of having a program on television for an educative program for children, which was called as the countrywide classroom program. And it used to be telecast by Doordarshan on behalf of the commission of the University Education Commission. The National Council of Educational Research and Training, in short known as NCERT. This body was established in Delhi on the 1st of September 1961. Its main objective is to help the central government to frame a comprehensive policy, and it also helps them to implement educational schemes. It restructures school curriculum and textbooks with the help of CBSE. CBSE stands for Central Board of Secondary Education. It provides guidance and cooperation in the area of primary and secondary education to the state governments. It has also been involved in designing workbooks and handbooks for teachers, in-house training for teachers, that is a teacher training programs, then developing teacher learning techniques and conducting talent search examinations at the national level. Talent search exams, I hope you all are aware of it, the NEET or the CET, CAT, etc. Then even at the state level, the NCERT established the SCERTs, that is, the state level educational research and training. The Maharashtra State Council of Educational Research and Training, that is MSCERT, was established in Pune in 1984. This institute performs various functions such as improving the standard of primary education, in service training of teachers, training in the areas of syllabi and evaluation, vocational guidance for students after 10th and 12th exams, and other educational functions. This institute is known as the Academic Authority, and it comes out with a periodical. Periodical is a magazine called Jeevan Shikshan. The images that you see here, the first image is a magazine of Jeevan Shikshan, which is printed in Kannada. The second is in Gujarati language, and the third is in Marathi language. So they come up with these states come up with their own version of Jeevan Shikshan. Next, we come to the national evolution of the national education policy of India. In the year 1968, the Indira Gandhi government announced the first national policy on education based on recommendations of the Education Commission between 1964 to 1966. Then, in 1986, Rajiv Gandhi government launched the new education policy which focused on adult education as well and empowerment of minorities. Adult education means there are adults, there are grown up people in India who are still illiterate. So, to reach out to them, this program was initiated, the new education policy, which also included adult education and to empower the minorities. Under this policy, a common core curriculum was framed for all the states, and the expectation was that all students in India will get equal educational opportunity, and there was a flexibility where the framing of the syllabus was concerned because each state has their own cultural, geographical, and historical identity. So one basic framework was made, and then the states could adapt to that. The primary education curriculum of 1988 was prepared on the basis of the plan of action designed at the national level for the effective implementation of the national policy on education in 1986. Later on, as we move about, in 1992, modification was done of the 1986 policy, National Education Policy, and during 1992, Dr. P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister of India. So under his government, they added a common entrance examination, that is the CET that we know now, for professional and technical programs. Then in 2005, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was the Prime Minister, he introduced the Common Minimum Program under the new education policy. In 2016, the new education policy by Sri Narendra Modi, he addressed the gender discrimination, creation of educational tribunals, and a common curriculum for science, mathematics, and English. Then, 3 years ago, latest is in 2017, a new education plan with major changes scheduled to be launched by Sri Narendra Modi. And if you are aware, if you are updated yourself, a few months ago, I think in the month of June, the government has announced a new education policy, NEP. It is called as the NEP 2020. Accordingly, where mother tongue is given importance, children will be able to freely take up a course of their choice. They are free to take up a language of their choose a language of their choice for getting educated. So new schemes being introduced into the new education plan. Then we come across the use of satellites. The medium in which I am communicating with you is through a satellite. The medium through which you are learning from me is through a satellite. So, how important a role does a satellite play in education? You can understand very well. In 1975, India met with success in its attempt to use a satellite for the purpose of education. And do you know who played an important part? It was Eknath Chitnis, a scientist with ISRO. He was the one who recommended that a satellite for education be exclusively launched, and thus we all got connected, all thanks to ISRO. So there was this satellite instructional television experiment. It was undertaken for educational purposes under the leadership of the Space Applications Center at Ahmedabad. The concept of satellite education came out of this experiment, and India took the help of America for this program, and they provided good education and it could reach even the remotest rural areas. That was the benefit of launching the EduSat. Then we come across the Indira Gandhi National Open University, called as IGNOU in short. This open university was established with the objective that the stream of education should make its way into every average household of the country. The United Nations had declared 1970 as the International Education Year. In the same year, a seminar was organized in New Delhi on the subject of Open University by the Government of India, Departments of Education and Social Welfare, Information and Broadcasting, University Grants Commission, along with UNESCO. In 1974, this idea came into fruition, and the government appointed a committee under the chairmanship of P. Parthasarathi, and the Open University took shape on 20th September 1985. It was named after Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and this university, IGNOU, is considered to be the world's largest university because there are students coming in from all parts of the world to study who have enrolled into this university. So that is a very proud fact. You should take pride in that. Thank you for now, students. I'll see you in the next module. Till then, refer to the Word document to go through the links of the study cloud. Revise this lesson well. Till I meet you in the next module, take care. Goodbye.